will try to tear you down. The world will do everything in its power to remind you what you're not, but you have to remind yourself who and what you are. We're looking like on time.
2:52. You're there. Hold on a second. Stand right there. As a 19-year-old young man who stand in front of this room with that confidence, you're not just getting a golf clap. Come on, everybody, get up there.
You have no idea the kind of opportunities that are waiting for you. They're right there. It's like it's so close I can smell this opportunity. But you start thinking, but it's not here yet. It's not here yet. I've been working every day. I've been doing this. I've been doing that. I've been working out. I've been showing up. I've been putting in the hours, but it's just not here yet. And you give up. But it was right there. It was right there, but you gave up. I don't want that to happen to you because I was having a couple moments where I'm thinking like, dang, Lawrence, this is happening, that's happening. And I said, nope, Lawrence, we're going to keep moving. And I did. And I kept moving. And I kept moving. And I kept moving. Y'all can go back on my page and see those videos when I was sitting in the park benches and I was on the ground and I ain't have a tripod, no microphone, no lights, no nothing. It was just me and this here iPhone. But a few days ago, I got an email. A little bit of context on this email. 5 months ago, I'm at an event, a National Speakers Association of Philadelphia, just there to learn, network, meet people, and I spoke to someone who was a board member of it for 2 minutes. We spoke for literally 2 minutes 5 months ago. And then on September 4th, I got an email from her. And the email was, and I quote, "Hi, Lawrence. I was so impressed when I met you at the NSA Philadelphia meeting. Hope all is well with you. I was wondering if you were going to attend the September 12th meeting because I have a favor to ask. Unfortunately, I'm on vacation and will be away. We had a board meeting this morning, and I asked the directors if I could reach out to you to cover for me at the meeting. And it gets better. This ain't even the best part yet. The magic moment is only 4 to 5 minutes long before the meeting starts. You know that at the meeting you attended, we talked about who you wanted to be when you were young. One meeting, I gave everyone a blank card and talked about writing to someone you wanted to say thank you to, you're the best, or just glad we're so met. Let me know if you're interested. And oh, two, if you do, we'll pay your meeting dues, so pay for my ticket. Also, share your idea of what you want to say to your fellow speakers with me. Looking forward to a favorable reply, Teresa." I got an email directed to me from the board member of the National Speakers Association of Philadelphia 5 months after we met and spoke for 2 minutes. In other words, the seeds that you are sowing, you shall reap good fruit in due season. When? I can't tell you when, but I know if you keep putting in that work, it will happen. I'm a living example of it. I was just a kid who had an iPhone, decided I want to make videos, I want to help people, I want to motivate people, I want to inspire people. I ain't had no tripod, no lighting, no nothing. I just had this iPhone, and I would walk down the street and say, today, blah, 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 post it on TikTok. Look where it got me now. And you don't have to be perfect to start. That's something that a lot of people get confused. They think I gotta have it all together before I start. I gotta have an LLC set up before I start. I gotta have a camera before I start. I gotta have a microphone before I start. I gotta have an office before I start. I gotta have the money before I start. I gotta have the resources before I start. I have to have the network before I start. No, all you gotta do to start is just start. Even if it is as simple as writing something down on a piece of paper, if that's what you need to do to start, like figure out what do I need, what do I actually need to do this? Because if you want to get into like a construction job, like you want to run a construction company, you do in fact need stuff before you start. You need permits and stuff like that. But okay, I don't got money for my equipment. I don't have money for the tractors and the excavators and the shovels. I don't got money for that. But I got money for my Wi-Fi. Or maybe I don't even have Wi-Fi. Maybe I don't even have a computer. I don't have Wi-Fi. You're watching this at the free library, right? You go on the free library computer and you search up how to start a construction company. Okay, I need my permit. I need my equipment. I need my staff. All right. What can I do right now? I could buy a shovel. I don't got my license yet. I don't got nothing, but I got a shovel. Okay. How do I get a construction license? Okay, I gotta go to this website. I gotta put the bank info in here. I gotta get the EIN. Okay. All right. Now I got my paperwork set up. I got my paperwork. Then I got my shovel. Maybe it's just me digging up front, like people front yard with a shovel. And I asked them like, hey, I'm doing yard remodeling, and I got the ceramic tiles in the back of my Honda, and it's just me, a shovel, and my Honda. If that's how you working, that's how you working. You gotta start somewhere. Or maybe you don't even got the Honda. You got the tricycle, you got the bike, and you got your equipment and your shovels and your tiles and all that in the tricycle basket. And that's how you working. Or maybe you ain't even got that. You got a wheelbarrow. You wheelbarrowing through the neighborhood with your shovel and your tiles, and you digging up people's yard for $50. You gotta start somewhere. You gotta start somewhere. And then because you was willing to do that, eventually you're able to get your excavators and your cement spinners and all that stuff. And you got your team out there. And you got 4 or 5 people working. And y'all got multiple jobs around the city. And y'all become the best at yard remodeling. Maybe that's how you gotta start. But if you don't start, you can't do nothing. If you don't start today, don't start tomorrow. Everybody say, I'm gonna start tomorrow. I'm gonna start next year. I'm gonna start when I got this. I'm gonna start when I got that. I'm gonna start when I got the product ready. Just start something. Make a TikTok post. Go to the library and do some research. Get your paperwork in order. Open up the business bank account. Get your LLC. Do whatever you can do today, do today. Whatever you can do today, do it today. If that just means like, all right, you want to lose 50 pounds, but you don't got a gym membership and you don't got money for a gym membership, drop down, do some push ups, walk around the block, take your dog for a walk, run laps, do whatever you could do. Or maybe you want to get to the NFL, right? You want to get to the NFL and you 15 right now. Try out for the high school team, right? Try out for the high school team. Okay, high school team said they didn't want you. If you got some friends, what you're gonna do is gonna get you and your friends, you and your family, you and some kids from the neighborhood. Y'all gonna find like a grass field and y'all gonna be running back and forth with the football. Y'all gonna be practicing like that. You gotta do whatever you could do. Whatever you have available, use that to execute. Because if I didn't make those TikToks walking down the street, if I didn't make those videos sitting in the grass, if I didn't make those videos when it was raining outside and it was 120 degrees and I'm out there and I gotta keep like the phone in the shade so it don't overheat and I'm making a video while I'm sweating and I ran out of water, if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have had a suit. I wouldn't have had a ring light. I wouldn't have had a webcam. I would have had a microphone. I would have had an office. I would have had an LLC. I would have had an EIN. I would have had a business bank account. I would have had a book. I would not have none of this if I didn't just start. And that's what you need to do. You need to just start. And then don't give up. If you start and you just keep taking one step forward, you will get to the NFL. You will get to the NBA. You will get to college. You will get that job. You will get that business. You will get whatever it is that you want if you just do not refuse to give up. It's going to be so many times when people are going to tell you, yeah, Lauren, but aren't you outside in the park recording yourself screaming into a phone? Yeah, Lawrence, but somebody just honked their car at you. Yeah, Lawrence, people hating on you. Yeah, Lawrence, people making video dissing you. Yeah, Lawrence this. Yeah, Lawrence that. But Lawrence not giving up. Lawrence does not care. Yes, it might hurt my feelings sometimes, But just because I might feel some type of way does not mean I have to live that type of way. Just because I might feel down today does not mean I have to stay down today. Just because they might not be how I want them to be does not mean that I abandon ship. Does not mean that I jump off. Does not mean that I end the business. Does not mean that. Because you have come too far to have come this far. You have come too far to give up. You have come too far to quit. You have come way too far to forget why you started. Why did you start that business? I was trying to provide for my family. Why did you start wanting to go to the NFL? I wanted to prove everybody wrong. Why did you start going to the gym? I wanted to love myself more. I wanted to feel more confident. I wanted to be able to walk my kid down the aisle. I wanted to be able to, show up and go to the beach and feel like people not judging me when I take my shirt off. Why did you start? Remind yourself why you started. Remind yourself that you have people who are wishing to see you succeed. We hear so much about older people hating, they don't like me, this, that. What about the people who love you? What about the aunts and uncles, them nieces and nephews, them younger siblings, your mom, your dad, your brothers, your sisters, your family, your friends, your co-workers, your community, the people at school? What about the people who want to see you win? What about the people who are cheering for you? What about the people who want to see you excel? Because people need what you have to offer, right? You might be a barber. It's people who they get that haircut, right? They go in, they feel like, dang, man, I'm going through this, I'm going through that, the bank account looking this way. You get them that fade, you shape them up, you get them looking good. Oh my gosh. Ooh. They look in that mirror like, dang, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. You might be like the Picasso of cutting hair. You just did a starry night on somebody's head. You got them looking fantastic. Or ladies, you had somebody come in and you do their makeup, you do their hair, you get their nails looking right. And she like, oh my gosh, oh. She go home, her husband, her boyfriend looking at her and I'm like, oh my God, baby, you looking good. You have no idea the kind of impact you're making on people. Maybe you put up a little motivational clip. Somebody see that and they like, yeah, I could do it. I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna start studying for my test. I'm gonna start my business. I'm gonna go to college. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. And their whole life become better just because you dropped that video. Maybe you become a pastor or a rabbi or something like that, and you getting people closer to God and to, whatever religious belief. You might become like a Buddhist monk, and you got people out here meditating and they becoming peaceful. All because you was willing to start. You don't need to have everything right before you start. And when you do start, you just gotta keep going. You just gotta keep pushing. You just have to refuse to give up. Because yes, it's gonna be days when you feel down. It's gonna be days when it's hard. It's gonna be days when it's challenging. But just because you feel down, don't mean you gotta stay down. Just because it's hard right now, don't mean it's gonna be hard forever. Just because the sun is, just because it's raining, don't mean the sun ain't gonna be out another day. Because the worst day of your life is only 24 hours. The worst day of your life is only 24 hours. But the best day of your life is also 24 hours. So yeah, it's gonna be some time when it's gonna be storming, it's gonna be thunder, it's gonna be hurricanes, it's gonna be tornadoes. Everything gonna be seem like it's falling apart. But just because things are falling apart, don't mean you can't build them back bigger, better, and stronger. Just because things aren't looking good right now, don't mean you can't clear it up later. Just because times are difficult right now, don't mean that times won't get better another time. Because think about it like this, right? If you never go through anything hard, you won't be able to appreciate the sunshine. Those rainy days, it make you appreciate the sunshine. When it's winter and it's cold and you freezing and you ain't got no heat in the house, it make you really appreciate having a heater. When the water ain't coming out the tap, when it ain't no food in the fridge, when the freezer empty, it make you appreciate a hot meal. It make you appreciate having something to eat. It make you appreciate a peanut butter and jelly. It make you appreciate having something on your plate. Yeah, you're not eating no Gordon Ramsay 5-star Michelin, but you're eating. Yeah, it might not be Kool-Aid and sodas and all the things you want in that refrigerator and things to drink, but you got that water, and you start remembering the time when you ain't had that. You remember when it was hard. You remember when it was tough. You remember when it was difficult. And yeah, right now it might be challenging too. But you can look back and be like, it ain't as bad as that. It ain't as bad as when I had no food in the refrigerator. It ain't as bad as when there wasn't no water in that faucet. It ain't as bad as when I was homeless. It ain't as bad as this. It ain't as bad as that. So because you went through the hard, like the real hard time back then, now when you have hard times today, it ain't that bad. You're able to look at it and see how far you've come. You're able to look at it and appreciate how far you've come. And when those blessings hit, all them blessings hit. Cause when I saw that email, when I saw she wanted me to come in and speak, when I saw that opportunity, I was remembering when I was in the rain and I was sitting in mud recording myself talking. I remember when I was trying to make a video and it started thundering on me. I remember when the phone was overheating and all my footage got messed up, so I had to re-record the whole thing. I remember them times. So when I got this opportunity, I was so thankful. I said, "Thank you, God," because I couldn't have done it without you. I could not have done it without you. And I'm gonna leave you on this last point. Remember, when them blessings hit, remember who to thank. Because it wasn't all you. It wasn't all your strength. It wasn't all your doing. It wasn't all your timing. People, when they get blessed, sometimes they start forgetting who really blessed them. They start thinking like, oh, is this a blessing from God or is this a blessing from the devil? But we're not gonna go too deep into that one. Those who know. And with all that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. If by any chance you happen to be a school principal, podcast host, or run a organization that helps teens and young adults, so think of NAMIs, YMCAs, anything that had to do with helping teenagers and young adults, and you're looking for speakers, you can contact me at my email address, lawrence@lawrencecharris.com. It will also be in the description, as well as my books. And if you would like to book a one-on-one call with me to get some advice, you can do that as well in the description below. Have a great day.